Guys, today on Radar Legends we'll be looking at the floor 40 Frost Spider of the Doom Tower. Before we get into that, we'll just have a look at the Great Hall so you can see what levels are at in the Great Hall. So you can see I'm only a low level player, but I just wanted to show what we can achieve. You don't have to have your Great Hall maxed out, as long as you're getting a bit done on it as you go along the way. You can achieve levels in the game. So we'll have a look first into our champions. We've got Mother Cybele. She's our team leader. She has the ability with a 24% speed increase. We'll have a look at her skills. Mask of Dread attacks all enemies. 25% chance of placing 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Uncanny Transfer, meaning she can transfer health between herself and other champions in your team. So if you have a champion which is low in health and Mother Cybele is high, you can transfer across the health. Then we have the Soul Shepherd, which is a revive, places a revive on death and 60% increased defense buff on allies for 2 turns. And her passive is fully heals the ally with the lowest HP whenever this champion dies. Her masteries, we've just set her up into War Master. We're not going to go into the detail of each item. You can just see what the setups I have set on these champions. We have Ghostborn in the team with the masteries into War Master as well, so we can get as much damage as possible and some defense. The skills is attacks one enemy has a 50% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Damage is based on attack. Petrify attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Damage is based on attack and speed. Ancestral Spirits attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted. Places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. And increases ally accuracy in faction crypts by 65. Now that's only in case the Aurora, if she was in the lead, that would occur. He was in the lead. We've got him set up with only a small amount of speed, 170. As of course, when we get more over time items, we'll increase that and put more skills. As you can see, I don't have him all the skills or anything on him at this stage. I could, but we just won't worry about it. We've got other champions I'm working on at the moment. We have Solus. He's our nuker in the team. 183 crit damage, some accuracy, and speed of 182 in speed. We're having in a perception set to give additional accuracy and speed. Skills. Bewildering Blow attacks one enemy, has a 35% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Damage is based on defense. Reign of Terror attacks all enemies, increases the duration of all debuffs on each target by 1 turn. Places a revoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns equal to 30% of the damage inflicted. Damage increases by 10% for each debuff on the target. Wave of Despair attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 75% chance of placing and remove all buffs. Also places a revoke debuff for 1 turn. If a buff was removed by the skill, the revoke debuff cannot be resisted. Increases ally defense and factions crypts by 44. Masteries. We've gone with the Hell Smash. Has a 50% chance of ignoring 25% of the target's defense. For skills that ignore defense, this 25% in addition to the amount ignored by the skill. Other members on our team are Armiger. We'll have a look at other Armigers here. You can set him up into War Master as well and support role. His skills. Ribsit attacks one enemy, decreases the turn meter by 30% if this target is critical. And Laid to Rest. Attacks one enemy killed by this skill cannot be revived. We've set him up, not much speed on him at this stage, but he has a lot of accuracy, so you work on the accuracy to get off his Laid to Rest and his other skills. We have some crit damage 120 and a crit rate of over 100%. So we can put a pair of boots onto this champion. I just take items from champions as I need it to add additional to other champions. Because I'm working on a few areas in the game at the moment, so this gives us a bit additional speed here now, 171 in speed. And last of all, our other champion we will be using is Royal Guard. We've got him set up as a nuker to do a lot of damage. His speed of 189 in speed, 240 accuracy. We have 228 in crit damage. His skills: Razor Blade, attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing 60% decreased debuff for 2 turns. Takedown, this is one of his real damaging skills. Attacks all enemies, damage increases according to enemy max HP. His Hamstring, attacks 4 times at random, each hit has a 60% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Doing that allows your champions then to have extra turns over your enemies. Each hit also has a 60% chance of decreasing the target turn meter by 25%, and his Aurora increases ally attack in dungeons by 35%. On his masteries, we've gone with War Master, has a 60% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. Bonus damage is equal to 10% of the target's champion's max HP or 4% of the target's max HP when attacking bosses. Bonus damage can only occur once per skill and does not count as an extra hit. And then we have him in support. So that was the rundown on how our champions are set up. We'll go, not into Clan Boss, wrong area. Into Doom Tower. Now we have Mother Sibeli in the lead that gives the additional Aurora skill of 24% speed. We have our 2 nukers in here with Solus and Royal Guard. We have Ghostborn, has some buffs and debuffs, and Armiger, so we'll get it straight underway. This is 440 of the Frost Spider. As you see, Mother Sibeli leads off, so she has the most speed in the team. Takedown skill there. We get some buffs and debuffs happening. That just helps our champions. And now onto the Frost Spider. So we have Armiger in the team so he can put the later rest on the little minions of the Frost Spider. Hopefully that can occur. That will help and assist us. Now it's definitely no speed team we have here. Just got to hope we can get some buffs and debuffs happening. It's buffs on our champions and some debuffs out there. Slow down the turn meter of the Frost Spider. Additional turns we can get, the better. As you can see, we got some decreased turn meter there occurred. I always like to bring a couple of nukers in when I can, do as much damage as possible. Have a buff debuff champion as well. And some healing if you can put that into your champions. And it's more about just trying to control the bosses. Control those enemies so you can take charge and your champions can win the stage for you. As you progress through the game, you put better items onto your champions. You revived. There we go, taken care of. Armiger takes care of him with his later rest. And a reward of 1 void shard. And that was a floor 40 of the Frostbiter. Thank you.